What is going on, collectors? Optical 20 back for another video. Finally, in The Rock's voice, we have Wolverine. There's a lot of speculation, rumors. What's happening to the Wolverine? Is the head sculpt getting downgraded? Can't they deliver, what they promised? And finally, it's here, and boy, does it look great. And I'm happy it is. He is my only remaining pre-order. And I have a lot of lineup that I want to get, Terminator. But this is one figure I cannot afford to sell out. Like, I've had DX13, but I've never really had a proper Wolverine in the collection. The closest one that comes, I would say, would be the Days of Future Past Wolverine. And even at that, that's a stretch, but that is the closest one to having the superhero suit. I have the 1979 because I love Days of Future Past. But this, if this sells out, I'll be like, no, I can afford Terminator to sell out, and afford Predator, because I've had my time of those. Now with Wolverine. And boy, did it deliver. I think it did. Normally, when we see blogger pictures, especially with the head sculpt this good, you would say that, hey, got downgraded, and we're expecting, maybe 5%, up to 10% of downgrade. I think it retained every single bit of it. I think it looked great. Look at that pose right there. His hair was, his hair in this movie. I've never been a fan of kind of like this messy, but it's Hugh Jackman. He's getting older, his hair is getting thinner and all that stuff. So it looks great. The arms, everything. This is, I would say, anything and everything that you wanted from a figure standpoint, where you have different looks that you can pull off. Obviously, if you buy the deluxe version, second head sculpt is amazing. Swappable faceplates, swappable arms. This is how a figure should look like, minus obviously the rooted hair. A lot of people doesn't like the term rooted hair because they're, but we'll call it rooted hair. This is just, I would say, the peak of action figure right here, and a decent price, because I think even as the deluxe version, it's still pretty decent for today's standard. The rolling eyeball system, I think, really works well. They retain, I would say, the texture of the skin. The arms, if it's the silicone arms that they use, and I believe it is, with Thor and Bane, it even looks and would feel amazing. This looks great. Look at this pose right here. I mean, it's kind of, you have the silly pose, but it works. It works. I have the clean Deadpool. I don't have the battle damage Deadpool yet, which I'm planning to get one as well. This is an iconic pose right here. You got the Fox logo in the back. This looks great. I mean, a lot of people are, especially now that After Hit's been shown, saying things about Wolverine and Deadpool, and you could. It is the, I would say, kind of like the No Way Home, full of nostalgia moments. Maybe not enough depth to some, but I was thoroughly entertained. I was all in on this line. I'm surprised we haven't gotten Gambit yet. Maybe we wouldn't, but I'm gonna go all in on this IP, and this is the second figure, at least, that maybe third. I didn't pre-order the Deadpool, the battle damage one, but I'm sure I'm gonna get one. Once it becomes available at Big Bad. That's kind of like my thing now. Nothing against pre-ordering. I think you should if you absolutely love the figure. But like that battle damage Deadpool, that's something that I could afford not to get if I don't even get to that point. Because I do have the clean Deadpool. So I'm going to check how my finances are at that time. And then they always come in available at Big Bad. I posted the Predator Prey recently. I always wanted that. But, at that particular time, I just bought like a generator. So I posted it. It was gone in like 15 minutes. And they had like 20 Predators. Hopefully it comes back, because I still want one. But even at that, I just want a Predator. So I was just, so should I get Prey or should I get the classic, kind of looking Predator, that's $100 cheaper. So, we'll see when, if they even restock Prey, because I still wanted to have one. But at this guy, I just don't want to do that. So I pre-ordered this. So I can't wait. So now it's released. Realistically, because I only buy it Big Bad, so I don't think I'm going to see this 3 months from now. Maybe 4, because it has to go to Sideshow, and Sideshow has to distribute it to all of their, and that gives me enough time, to prepare for this, because I got a lot of things I want to buy too, not just this guy, but this one's pre-orders a must have. At that time, I think I'm gonna get T1000 already. That one I'm gonna get as well. I didn't pre-order that as well, but I'm extremely happy with how this turned out. He looks really poseable as well. I mean, as much as you could ask for a Wolverine. Hugh Jackman's Wolverine was never this, this dynamic type of a character anyway, who jumps around, and he's more of a powerhouse, because Hugh Jackman is a big dude. So he's more of that. He's not like Spider-Man, where he does have this crazy poses that you have to pull off. Things like this would be enough. Spreading the arms, do a little bend on the knee. You can see the pants bunching up here, so that's okay with me. The arms, of course, you got the 2 versions. This arm right here would be the choice if you want to leave him looking like, look at this picture right here. This is a beautiful photo. If you want him in a more, I would say, a pose that you would leave him for a long time. Although I'm not a fan of that, because even at that, I'm gonna be afraid that I'm gonna damage the arms, like the suit and the arms leave creases or sticking next to each other. I just don't want to risk that. If this figure is as good as when I hold it, this might be the first one where I have to buy 2. And I love Wolverine, so I might be the exception here, but I might buy the regular version so I can display him with that mask head sculpt, because it just looks too good without the sleeve, and then the other one unmasked with the sleeve on, or vice versa, whatever the case may be. I just think that the look can be distinct, because you have the swappable chest plate as well to make him kind of look battle damage. And then I'll just buy the thirst trap Wolverine as well. But let me know in the comments, how do you think this turned out? Did it had a downgrade? Did it live up to your expectation? I would love to hear your thoughts. Thank you for watching. Subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you in the next one.